Alright. Hey guys, this is gonna be a podcast called Late Night Escape. I'm the host,
Yo.
Dominic, and with me I have Eric
Hello.
and Nikki. Say hello.
こんばんは. Oh, hello.
Ah,
And here we got
I remember
Alan.
already.
And here we got Alan.
Hello.
Okay, so for our first podcast, we decided to kind of make it chill and kind of more low down mellow. So our first topic is gonna be about what is nostalgia. Is it a feeling of sadness or is it like to you guys happy?
Nostalgia.
You guys like
What do you guys feel nostalgic about? Yeah. What's your trigger for it? Like,
I
what's
feel like nostalgia for me always comes back to like Kingdom Hearts. You guys ever play that game?
oh
no? I was four.
Oh.
here we go.
Pretty sure the first time I played that game was because my friend had it, and I just played on their like PS2 at the time.
Dude, I remember, yeah.
I think one of like the best nostalgic triggers is like the food
Food
that
is
you
pretty,
ate
yeah.
when you're a child. You know.
Food is pretty, yeah.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of nostalgic food that I remember eating, cause like
Yeah, I okay, so there's this one spot in the Philippines where I always eat in when I was a child. And every time I go back there, I just remember myself being a small child there, you know?
oh,
It's very cool. Plus like they have good food.
like what type of food were they serving?
I was like just Carinderia food.
Ah,
Yeah, if you guys don't know what Carinderia is, search it up. I'm not gonna say it because I don't know what the meaning is.
I feel like food for me isn't nostalgic because I swear I still eat the same exact things I did when I was younger.
really?
Yep.
Mm.
Like
I
feel
guess
like
I understand
the
what you're
closest thing is
saying.
like noodles, but I actually just still eat noodles like all the time. so-
Oh man, I remember the time, Eric, when you used to come to over my house and we'd make noodles, or was it with
Yeah.
Anton? I don't
Nah,
remember.
I remember because I remember we had that first, and then you started doing it with other people, and I got like, all right, I see how it is.
Pushed away. Sorry, buddy.
Yeah.
Because we were not in the same year, man. I
Yeah.
think I went to year 9 and you were still year 8.
Yeah, I was like, I
Yeah.
was a bit younger.
Yeah.
Nostalgia for me, yeah, the way I see it is like it's kind of like a bittersweet kind of feeling, like my one is kind of similar to Alan.
The
It kind of like
memories long forgotten.
kind of links back to my time in the Philippines as a kid, where like things were like so carefree back then.
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't have to worry about like worldly issues, and I could just
so
like
true, dude.
just appreciate the little things, like playing with my friends. Yeah, like eating food.
Like, couldn't you eat food now?
I
Like
mean,
eating food.
like the specific, like those street food.
Oh
like,
yeah, yeah.
Fish
Quick,
ball.
quick. Yes.
Quack quack. Oh
Yeah.
yeah, quack
Dude.
quack, dude. That's lit.
Yo,
It's
I
like-
remember that's like a peso, like 1 peso.
Yeah, man.
Food was
It's
so
like
cheap,
4
yeah.
fish ball because that's like 25 cents per fish
Yeah.
ball.
Like, do you ever get that
So
feeling
good, man.
when you eat something that
I mean, Eric doesn't
you
feel
kinda
like that.
associate- Yeah, when you associate it with like, with your childhood, like everything kind of like comes rushing back to you. Like,
Yeah, yeah. I have
Okay.
I have
all the feelings that you were.
So the scene you're describing reminds me of the movie Ratatouille. Where
alright,
when
the movie
Ego
right.
ate the food and then he remembers the cooking of his mom.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a very cool scene. A very cool
Yeah.
movie. Please,
Yeah,
Disney sponsor us.
I like that. I like that scene
Yeah.
in particular, actually, Alan.
Yeah.
I know exactly what you're
Yeah,
talking about, where
yeah.
they do that chop where you like zoom in and zoom out
Yeah,
at the same time.
it's very cool.
I
And
remember,
then
yeah, true.
he drops his like pen, and he's
Yeah.
like just like started eating. He doesn't care about anything. I think that's what nostalgia does to you. Like
Yeah.
when once you feel it, like like it doesn't really matter if what you're doing is kind of.
The thing about nostalgia is that like okay, like when you think about it, it feels different every time you look back, depending on your age. So if
Yeah.
like if I were to look back when back I was like more younger, 18 or something like that, it feels completely different than I am now. Like if I was 18 or 16 and I looked at back when I was younger, I'd say I'd be like it's more of a naive feeling. Like oh man, I was so weird. I was like blah blah blah. I feel different. Like why did I still like that show? It was so weird. But like growing up, you like when you're older, like especially now, like if it makes me feel like wow, I miss those simpler times and those kind of feelings.
Yeah.
Cause I remember like right now, like I remember every Halloween. There's this specific show that like always brings me nostalgia. It's insane, and it's called like this is Disney movie. It's Disney, please sponsor. Um, it's called
I
it's
mean, we're gonna get demonetized.
it's so good.
It's like, how many times do we say Disney before they notice that we're
DMCA.
Disney?
But what movie we're talking
So
about?
the movie was like it's like Halloween Town. Have you guys ever heard of Halloween Town?
Oh yes.
Yeah, I think I've watched it.
Yep.
Because
I'm not really a big fan of Disney shows, but
because Halloween
yeah.
for me, what it was so it was it's embedded to my head like so much. It gives me so much nostalgia every time it's Halloween. I'm like, oh, I think about like the magical times because when I think about that specific show, what it brings me is that my naiveness or hope of these things are real, like magic and everything. When I was younger, you know what I mean?
Mm,
Because when you grow up, you finally like understand like a concept of how the world works, that you don't want it to work that way. You know what I mean? Like hoping that there will be more something like magical, something more like crazy, like oh, like it's same thing with Avatar, The Last Airbender. It's like or like Dragon Ball. Like you guys, when you guys were younger, were you guys like trying to like make the Kamehameha and kind of stuff like this just takes me back. This kind of stuff like TV shows or like movies. 100%
I feel like
gives
I
me
was a
nostalgia.
real cringy kid, so I pretty much did every single thing, like every one of like the
Right.
most weeby thing you could do.
Oh my
Yep.
god, yeah, dude. Legit, I
One
did
thing, dude,
go.
one thing I would do was like, because I always loved Spider-Man as a kid, so I would like put glue on my hands and I would like kind of like rub it together to like kind of, because it makes me feel like I have like like kind of webbing on my fingers.
Oh,
and I would,
dude,
like,
yeah.
Did you try like
cringy.
climbing up a tree or something
Yeah.
like that?
Yeah.
Oh
Did
my
you
God.
did it work?
E-
It shouldn't have worked.
Dude.
no comment.
Hey, dude.
did you manage to climb it though?
That's a
I
real question,
mean, no.
dude. You're a failure Spider-Man, bro.
That was when my hopes and dreams shattered.
Reality hit you.
Was it your peak? You peaked at your childhood. Everything just went downhill afterwards.
When you
Yes.
fell, when you fell,
Yeah,
like
it's
as
all-
you're
it's all
falling
downhill from
down,
there.
you're falling down the tree or whatever you're climbing. You're like, everything's like, wow, I'm not Spider-Man. All that kind of jazz. Oh my god.
What
Slow
if-
motion.
what if
Like
you-
everyone else.
Why am I just normal? Oh my god.
Yeah,
Talking
that-
about
Hey.
glue in your hands. Sorry, like to cut you off,
What?
but we used to do this
yeah.
thing like when I was younger, where we'd put glue in our hands, and
What
we'd
the
like
heck?
make someone like shake our hand or something as a prank.
Oh my
that's so
god.
dumb. That's such a dumb thing to do.
Ah.
Did you
Uh,
guys
man.
ever do that?
No,
We did
no, I
that
never
so
did
much
that.
that like you know how your skin just peels?
Yeah.
Yeah, like my
Yeah.
skin was peeling so much because I
Oh
had so
my
much
God.
glue in my hands.
Oh
It's
my
Like, I
God.
couldn't
satisfying.
tell
yeah.
whether it
Yeah.
was the glue or my skin peeling. But I was-
It's
yeah, I
satisfying,
remember
though. It's not
always
really
doing that.
What I remember was that in school we have like rocks there, right?
Oh, rocks.
And every time we go home, we put rocks in other people's bag.
What?
Um,
What the heck? Ah, you're that kid, huh? Mm.
Yeah, and there's like sometimes like there's like construction. Obviously, like in Philippines, there's like a lot of construction happening.
Yeah.
And there's like just like bars of like metal, We put them
Oh.
in the bags as well.
What the heck? What the heck? Oh my god, that's
Isn't
insane.
that like stealing?
I mean, if they don't know it,
Okay, I see how it is.
they would just go home and like, why is it so heavy?
Fair enough. Like
They don't
you
ever
just
check
do
their
the dumbest
bags?
things when you're kids.
Yeah.
True. Ah, bro. So I remember I remember experiencing like with rocks and stuff when I was a kid. We would have like rock throwing fights. Like we'd have like a rock
Oh my
war,
gosh, that's-
and we'd
yeah.
be
What?
throwing wars.
That sounds
We'd be throwing rocks, dude. And then there's this one time I legit got like one of my friend, like good friend back
Yeah.
then, hit me with like it was like, to me it was a boulder, but I think it was smaller now. But it hit me in the head, and it made me faint, like legit. Like I just
bro.
died. I felt like I died, but like I don't remember, like what the heck. And I passed out, and then and like I wake up and I'm like seeing like multiple like teachers, and I'm like, where am I? It's so weird. It's like a pure blackout. It's like that. It's actually what it feels like when you're in those movies where it fades out and goes black. Like that's legit what
Is
happens.
this like when you're like you woke up, you just like end up in Skyrim? Ah,
Oh.
you're awake.
Yeah, yeah. My
Or
God.
like in Pokemon, and you're like somehow you're just at like the Pokemon Center. Like okay,
Oh, I wished, bro. That'd be sick, bro. But reality, you come in where reality hits, like, okay, this is in Skyrim. Yeah.
Hmm.
I actually
Yeah, I think
last
Go
time I fainted was also because of a rock.
Hey, actually,
But it was much worse. It involved surgery, I'm pretty sure.
oh,
So I don't know if you guys know this, but when I was younger, well, for those who don't know, I was a fat child when I was younger.
oh, I remember.
But
I
I
remember.
never knew. Like I kind of knew, but I thought I could do everything all the other kids could do. So I remember like there was like those monkey bars, which like to me still make no sense. 'cause,
Oh,
like,
I think
there's
I
not
think I
many
know this.
kids that
Yeah.
can do monkey bars, right? But like
Yeah.
it's crazy how most like parks have monkey bars. But yeah, anyway, saw a bunch of kids just like going on it, and I'm like, oh, that looks fun. I should try doing that as well.
This is
Except
not
I'm like
something to
super
like.
fat. So like I like let go. Or like as soon as I got on it, I couldn't carry my own weight, so I let go. And there was like a
Yikes.
real like sharp rock under me. And for some
What?
reason, I didn't fall on my legs, I fall on my chin.
Ah,
I fell on my So
What?
literally I just remember falling and waking up in the hospital with like anesthesia and everything.
Oh my god.
And like they like from what I was told, it looked like I had two mouths.
What?
Yep. Like
What
it
the
like
hell?
dug a hole. It's crazy. Like
Dude,
I don't
I
think I
need
have
to
it
see it.
now, but I remember for like a long time I could feel the stitches in my chin.
Bruh. I would love to see you with two mouths, bro.
That makes me feel weak. Just imagining it.
Yep. That's
Oh, man,
crazy.
that's-
But I remember because we just came out of Jollibee as well.
Oh my god. Yeah. Dude, okay, every time like you go to like a surgery or like you go after like doctors and stuff, like when I was
Mm.
younger, my parents would always like just take me to a like what do you want? What do you want? Like what is
do
the-
you?
it was weird because I never get what I want, so I'm like, what? It's like
Is this a
what?
trap?
Is
Are
is
you
this
Are we
okay?
Is
going
this
to the
real?
dentist
Is this
later?
real? Is this real? It's like legit like that. I'm like, what?
Yeah,
But
man.
yeah. You guys have any others like stories of like you guys fainting or?
I don't think I've ever.
Sure, I
fainted
haven't
before.
fainted
Yeah, I mean,
like once.
Once?
I think I might have passed
Yeah.
out from like the heat, but I don't think it was like a proper like
Like
passing
proper
out.
a
or-
proper passing out. Yeah.
yeah.
I think I'm like either I'm like too sleepy to be thinking about things, or like
Yeah. Okay. I see. Yeah, like I know.
like especially in the Philippines, it's like it's always so hot. Like sleeping
Yeah.
when it's hot is
Yeah,
actually
it-
so good. It's so good, man.
yeah, the
like,
heat actually makes
after-
you sleep more. Eh?
Wait, sleeping
Yeah.
when it's hot. I hate
Completely
that.
the
What?
opposite. I cannot sleep. in
Yeah.
I love the cold, so I
I'd
can.
rather-
I
have a
understand,
million
but I feel like you
blankets.
can
Yeah.
get more sleepy when
Yeah.
it gets
Like
warm,
you can get so sleepy when it's hot. especially when you're used to like the hot. It's
Mhm.
so weird, but like it happens.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think for me, like one of the most relaxing things is like a really nice, like not cold, but like semi-cold breeze. Like, have you guys ever just been
Oh, yeah,
like
yeah.
on a boat where it's like moving slowly and it's just open and you can just feel the breeze? Like it's not
Right,
windy,
yeah.
but because the
Mhm.
boat's moving, you can
Yeah.
feel the breeze. And
And
it's
it's
just
not
so
too
calm.
chilly either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I remember
yeah.
like on one of our holidays, we went to this like it was a tropical place, but it was at night, and like
Mhm.
we were just on a boat, and it was just like it wasn't really moving; it was real still, so you could see the water like had no ripples, and there was just that
Oh.
nice breeze. Honestly, it was like the best.
Yeah,
time of my life.
like I remember in the Philippines where like going back, I remember going home
Well,
at night and it's the wind is
maybe we should
super.
put context why we always say the Philippines. We're in
Ah.
New Zealand right now, guys.
Yes.
We're from New
That's
Zealand.
we're not gonna say we're specific in New Zealand, but like it's in New Zealand.
You know, we're somewhere there.
We're somewhere
Yeah.
there. Yeah.
You know, let's make it a game. Guess where we are.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
might be in New Zealand, but
We
we're
might be in New
escaping.
Zealand. Yeah.
We're escaping.
The
This is our
the
late
better
night
place,
escape.
New Zealand.
The better place.
Oh no.
The better place. Oh wow. Okay. Okay.
We should, yeah.
Oh good. Oh good.
Anyway, continue
Um,
on.
do you guys have any like fairy tales or stories that like kind of like was embedded like to you like when you were growing up, like anything
I mean,
like
as a Filipino, I think there were a lot. you know?
okay, yeah,
Yes.
mostly
There's a
ghost
lot.
stories, like for me,
Yeah.
Oh,
because like my mother's side
Um,
was very into like supernatural stuff, like
Superstitious.
yeah, superstitious. Like my mother's side was super superstitious.
mm.
Yeah, that's
One of the
Uh,
things in the Philippines that's been so ingrained in me is that whenever you're walking to like a forest or something like
Mhm.
for like
Oh, I think.
a lot of trees,
oh
don't point at things.
Yep. I grew
Don't
up
point.
with that too.
And then whenever you point at things, you bite your finger, like your thumb. I
oh, you
think.
bite your finger?
Your
I
thumb.
remember that.
Your thumb, I
Thumb.
think,
You had
or
to
something
bite your
like that.
thumb. Yep.
Really?
Yeah, yeah.
What?
It's like I don't know why, but like I feel like it's like you're like punishing yourself because like you like pointed at something you
Ah.
don't see.
It was something to do with like gnomes or something.
Yeah, yeah.
Duende,
something like that.
duende, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Duende.
Yeah.
duendes. Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah.
yeah, I remember.
Yeah,
I,
and then you also say like "excuse me," which is
you
like
have to be
a-
polite.
like
You have to be polite in
yeah,
your
yeah,
trees,
polite.
bro.
Yeah,
Bro, I
Yeah.
remember.
I remember when we would go on like family road trips,
Mhm.
and like we couldn't hold like our like we really had to pee. Like we would stop by the road, and then like when there's like a heap of like long grass, like
Mhm.
we would have to like say tabi tabi po so that you don't like step on the
Wait,
you know,
what does
the
that mean? What does
or
that
you
mean?
know,
gnomes
pee
or
on
the-
What does that
Yeah.
mean? What does that mean?
what
Tabi,
tabi
tabi
tabi po.
tabi. It's like excuse me.
Like,
you
excuse
know.
me,
Yeah.
excuse me. Yeah,
It's like
because you don't want to step on them.
It's
Or
like it's
pee
like
on
a
them,
signal
you
of like respect, eh?
yeah, yeah, it's like there's like a warning to them, you know. I'm gonna
'Cause-
pee here, but please don't pee here.
Because all I remember was like bringing salt around or something. Like I had to bring something around like when I'm going places.
Okay, well, one of the things that's very scary about, like one of the things that story wise,
Mhm.
is whenever there's like a pregnant person.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
like my auntie, my tita, she was pregnant, and I swear I could hear like something like walking on the roof.
Is this the
Every night.
manananggal?
I think so.
Is
I'm
it?
not sure.
Because I heard of that story. No, is it a swang? A swang or is it?
Yeah, it's like a swang and like a manananggal. They're like the same thing.
Yeah, I think they're mostly the same thing. I know.
Yeah, mostly.
I think one of them's like, they're they don't have legs and they have wings.
Yeah.
I
So
think
what the manananggal is a lady or a woman that at nighttime, like she like massages like oil around her abdomen part,
Mhm.
and after a while, her abdomen's gonna like separate from her, like she would basically be cut in half, and she grows wings, like large
Yeah,
wings,
yeah,
and then
the
she flies
wings.
away.
Oh yeah, and then they do that sound like tit 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 like
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
sound.
That's
Yeah.
on those one. Tick, 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 tick.
Yeah,
Is
tick
that
tick tick.
like because they're like swinging something?
I'm not sure, but
I'm
that's
not
like the
too sure.
sound
They have
that
like a
it's
they have a like
associated with.
they like have a long like tongue or something, and then like they eat the baby in pregnant woman. That's what
Yeah,
I if I remember. Yeah.
yeah. They
It's
have like long tongues that like they like go into like
pregnant. Yeah,
the
pregnant
pregnant
woman.
lady.
Yeah, and then just
You know,
And
you know
then
what I've
eat
just
them.
realized?
What?
Like, I feel like a lot of like folklores in the Philippines like have just been made to kind of like reinforce these values of respect into the
True.
children.
Yeah, I
Like
can
especially
understand
with
that.
Alan's story of like when you're in a forest, don't point at things because because it would be kind of disrespectful to point at like at people.
Yeah.
And like when you're trudging through like grass, you say tabi tabi po or excuse me because you want to be polite and you don't
yeah,
want to
yeah.
like bump into
It
people.
is. It's
Like I don't know,
interesting. It's like
it's really interesting like how these stories come about.
even to
you know?
nature, even to things that don't know if it's actually real or not.
Mm,
I also think that's like to do with making kids go home at night also.
Mm,
That also is a
Because like
fair.
I remember, yeah, like they would always like my parents would always tell me like, oh, they're gonna come out at night or they're gonna attack you at night and stuff like that. That
Oh
would just
damn.
stop me from going outside and playing.
yeah.
Yeah.
That
well,
fear, bro.
okay. I don't really have like fairy tales, but like mostly stories.
Yeah, it's just like
Yeah, mostly stories that stuck with me. Like okay, this one time when I was like in the Philippines, I was like alone in the house, right?
Mhm.
And this like the back door was open, like so that like imagine the door and there's like a screen that you can see from outside from inside. Like when you're inside, you can see the outside, and vice versa.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And like it's dark, it's like nighttime, and I was like alone. I was like playing games on my computer,
Yeah.
and I swear I heard someone go psst, psst,
Oh man,
to me.
Holy damn.
I'm getting like chills.
Yeah,
just
dude.
Yeah, I was
imagining.
like, I'm out of here.
Like being home alone in the Philippines. is-
Dude, okay. Okay. Like I remember I had this like when I was super young. I don't remember. This like I think this is one of my earliest memories, like honestly. So I had like this weird encounter where I was watching like a old Filipino like TV show. I don't remember.
Yeah.
And then I think it was like Kaka Kaba Kaba. I don't know. I don't remember what it's called.
But
But
like a horror.
it was a horror TV show, and I was the only one in the house. And then the
Yeah,
TV
you-
light, there was no lights. The TV light was the only thing on, and it was facing towards me. And then my mom just leaves out of the door.
Oh man.
And then the like the living room that we lived in was kind of like it's really small, and it's right next to the outside, like the door. If you open when my mom leaving is like opening the door to the outside, and
Mm.
she left the door open, so I was like confused, and I was still watching this like scary horror movie, like horror TV show, and I'm like, what the heck? And then I look to the left, and I see this bright light coming from the open door, and then I
Yeah.
see like this silhouette of like a man coming
Mhm.
towards me, and then it turns out to be my dad, and I'm like, okay.
That's
Classic.
anticlimactic.
I
Oh,
can just
I
imagine
like-
it's
like-
like a car outside, like
And I'm like,
pointing like the lights inside.
Yeah, I'm like, who is this? That was like one of my earliest memories. I was like scared as. I remember
Yeah.
that like, I was just like fear, like what the heck. That was like the only
Yeah,
thing.
I guess like all the stories, like stories and like experiences when you're a child, is like just to enforce habit, actually, like habit,
True. Yeah.
like
true.
be respectful and stuff like that. Like I still say I kind of still say po and opo to like elderly
Really?
because that's what like like
Yeah.
that stuff.
I think
especially when
have
you
to.
especially when you don't know the person
For
and
me,
they're older than you.
feel like that
You say
disappeared
po
in me.
and opo.
Like
Yeah.
I do it, I do it, but I don't do it out of habit. For me, saying po or opo.
Mm.
I'll be honest, like I say po and opo to show that I know like a little bit of Filipino.
Ah, yeah.
Oh,
For those
Like
who,
cuz I don't know, like you know when you order food at like a Filipino restaurant
Yeah, yeah.
and like like I have to say in English, right? But like I know like they're going to reply in English, but I
Yeah.
want to make them like know I'm Filipino, so I'll just say po or opo.
wow.
Especially when like the girl on the other side's like, "Oh, hello."
is cute. Oh,
Skip.
I'm
Okay.
Oh,
Oh,
what?
okay.
What?
Okay.
What?
Okay.
Hello.
What?
Opo.
Okay, that's another story for another
Wait, wait,
podcast
wait,
right
wait,
there.
wait. For wait, wait,
You
wait.
guys
Like,
gotta listen.
wait,
continue, Eric. Continue.
What?
wait. For those who don't know what oppo or although what that means, it's pretty much like a sign of respect. Like,
Yeah.
it's
That
pretty
you
much
say to your elders.
yeah, exactly, yeah,
Elders or someone that's higher than you, authority wise.
yeah. It's just a respectful thing you do in our culture. Yeah. Do you guys have any like?
Yeah. See, I just want to like
Mhm.
link it back to the topic of nostalgia. You know,
Mhm.
I think this is nostalgia. You know, like looking back at certain memories, whether or not
Yeah.
they were happy or sad or painful. You know, looking back at them with like fondness
Fun.
because
Mhm.
yeah, like because knowing the fact that you can't that those things are like a part of your past that can't be repeated.
Mhm.
You know, like it's unattainable, and so you kind of just like appreciate it.
I see it. Yeah.
As it is. And so you kind of
yeah. That makes sense. Yeah.
so you look
Yeah,
back at
there's-
it with like a certain fondness, but kind of longing for the past.
There is a longing for the past. Like.
Yeah, there's like so what is nostalgia, guys? So I've searched out this
The actual
thing.
definition.
Oh
Yeah,
my
the
god. You actually searched it
definition.
out?
Yeah, I mean like you gotta know what you're talking about.
True.
A sentimental longing or wistful affection for a period in the past.
Mm.
Hmm. That's a very
I see
deep one,
that.
but
It
like
sounds more like positive.
yeah, it like
Nah, I do.
it's it's like not like nostalgia shown to like counteract loneliness, boredom, and anxiety. You know, it makes people comfortable.
Mm.
Yeah, I like. Yeah. Like, I think nostalgia is a very like weird comfort, but it's also like it is also a feeling of like I don't know. There's a bit of sadness to it. Like there is. I feel like there is a bit of sadness because looking back, it's like it's the stuff like is like you can't repeat those experiences. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because like I feel like it's when you look back, it's like it's usually those first impressions or first like the nostalgic stuff or like the first time you blank blank or the first time
Yeah.
you do this. Those are the things that usually are more nostalgic, and then that's why when you look back, it's mostly sad. Like that's how I see. I feel like nostalgic
Interesting.
can be is seen usually as a sense of a little feeling of happiness, yes, and it can be a sense of comfort, but at the same time, it's a sense of sadness because you aren't able to feel those things anymore. You can try to, but it will be different. You know what I mean?
So there's kind of like a gray area in between.
But I do think it's nostalgic is empowering because it allows you to be able to pass on those experiences to others. You want other people to feel the same way you did. Like that's why like if you have a kid or anything, you want them like to experience kind of the same stuff that you did as a kid. You know what I mean? Because like I feel like that's like super.
My perspective of like nostalgia is like pretty similar, but I think for me the reason why it's both sad and happy, kind of to define like what even is happiness and sadness.
Mhm.
I think happiness to me, or at least like what most people view it as, is just like living life at its present. Like when you think about something like going to a party, like you're not worrying about what food you're gonna eat or like what you did yesterday. You're like at the party talking to people, like having a good time at the
Mhm.
event. or like playing a game or playing a sport, you know, you're like in the moment, so you're
Sure.
happy in that sense.
Yeah.
And I think like sadness on the other hand, or like not sadness per se, but like you can also have the other side of it, which is like thinking about things, like ruminating. I love the
Mhm.
word ruminate,
Yeah,
but
it
like
is a beautiful word.
you know, like thinking about what you did yesterday or what that is. And I think like nostalgia is in between that, where you're thinking about what you did in the present, in the past, if that makes sense. So like
Mhm.
if you played basketball a lot as a kid, when you're nostalgia, like when you think about playing basketball as a kid, you get the same feelings you did when you were a kid.
Right.
So
True.
you're kind of like living in the present, but it's not actually in the present. So you're kind of ruminating. So it's got that both, like you get
Mm.
both feelings of happy and sad.
So you're
Yeah, I
kind of
think it
getting
is
this
a
rush of feelings that you were experiencing at that moment.
Yeah, like secondhand like happiness, but you know it's not actual. So it's like that's why there's a little bit of that bittersweet.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah, true, true.
Yeah.
Damn,
And I
man.
think like having the same like I think when you connect with someone, like someone you're close to or whatever, like for example us, like a lot of us have the same nostalgia or
Yeah.
the same pasts
It's very
that
similar.
like it just makes it so easy to connect with someone who has had the same experiences as you, because it's like there's no way for you to actually pass on what you felt at that time. But when someone else has felt the same thing as you, it's like you know them better because you know what they went through
Yeah.
and they
Mhm.
know what you went through as well.
True.
That's why like nostalgia is such a like an interesting thing to just think about and like do, and like it's almost addicting even.
Yeah, like it's okay, like especially with like okay, with recent things of like cuz like Hollywood has been like marketing, like their marketing schemes like almost like milking everything about like nostalgic feeling. Like they redid Lion King, making it like super
Yeah.
realistic. What else did they did? They did like Jungle
Did
Book.
Aladdin?
They made a live action of Aladdin.
Or-
Beauty and the Beast. Oh, I remember our date, Eric.
Yeah.
There was a
Oh, is this
lot
while,
of
while my brother
That's
and I
a
were
really funny
watching
story.
Power
Yeah, you guys were
Rangers.
watching Power Rangers, and then I
Uh,
completely forgot that I had a date to watch Beauty and the Beast like a week
yeah,
after or
I
something.
remember. Oh my, yeah, I remember that.
Oh, that's so
With
funny.
who, eh? Oh,
Oh,
no, that's for another podcast.
That's
brother.
for
Yeah.
another time. That's for another
Podcast,
time.
man.
That's
That's
another.
another
That's for another time.
uh,
But yeah, I feel like there's a lot of the marketing these days have been like towards milking the nostalgic train and all
Yeah.
that feeling because I do feel like it's like really cool, but I think it's also a bit sad that they're doing it. Um, but yeah,
Like they're not like thinking up of new ideas.
yeah, I just
yeah, like I think it's sad because they're not doing it to make it good.
yeah,
Like I
yeah,
look back, like I haven't seen the Lion King thing, right?
Mhm.
And I knew that the graphics is amazing. Like I saw it and I was like, damn, this is next level. But then you think about what Lion King was, and it was a show about cartoons singing about wanting to be the next king and
True.
like having
Mhm.
fun. That
Mhm.
doesn't make sense in a hyper realistic lion, you know? Like
True.
and then
Singing
like that's
lions.
exactly what happened. Like it failed because they saw a singing lion that was hyper realistic that you would expect to roar in like Discovery Channel or something. Like
True.
Yeah.
and so
I
you
mean, if
can
they
tell that,
wanted,
yeah.
yeah, if they wanted originality, they could just like make a sequel. You know, that
Yeah.
would evoke
Yeah, true.
nostalgia as well as um, originality as well.
Yeah, like if they made just like a real dark version of, because I feel like if you have hyper realistic, it has to be like real, you know? Like
Yeah, I feel like I
those-
feel like you can't do the original stuff using like that realistic kind of vibe. Like I feel like if you're gonna do something, it has to be suited towards the growth of the audience. Because like as a kid, you can overlook things and like you can just like see things like more differently. But if you grow up, it's like
True. Yeah.
it's easier. It's like you notice all the cool like the technical thing, like the complexity of like a character and stuff like that.
Like
And
when
then
you
that
finally understand like the dirty jokes that were.
oh yeah, and, like all the old
But then-
old movies and stuff like
Yeah.
they do a lot of those. I remember.
Mm.
yeah. Makes you wonder now, like
rewatching
How many of
movies,
those you missed as a kid?
dude? Oh yeah, yeah. Like I think there was a lot. Oh, I remember there was like this thing about like, um, and the mermaid. Oh, Ariel, what was it called again? Fuck.
Little
Um,
Mermaid.
Mermaid.
Little
Mermaid.
Mermaid. God, I feel old, bro.
Mhm.
Little Mermaid. Dude, there was this like one part where I don't know if they did it on purpose, but during the wedding, the priest has like a boner, bro. Like I swear,
Wait,
the
what?
priest had a boner, dude.
Hmm.
Legit,
I'm searching.
Yeah, I'm
dude.
Little
literally-
Mermaid
I'm
boner
legit,
bow.
dude. I swear. I swear.
I've never actually watched The
I-
Little Mermaid.
Oh, what the heck is this?
Dude, there was a
Wait, where?
boner, dude. I swear, dude.
What?
Oh.
No way,
Wait.
this wasn't real.
That's what I've heard. I mean, I read about it. Like, okay.
Well, thanks for ruining our
What?
childhood.
Oh,
Holy moly, this can't be true.
sorry.
This can't be
sorry.
true. I'm
sorry,
watching the
but
video.
Little
Yeah,
Mermaid, bro. Dude, it's
Seven. Oh, yuck!
it's tragic.
Ah! No, no,
Ah.
no. That has to be just like his pants, kind of like.
Really?
Hey.
Okay, I don't know. I can't make excuses.
They said it might have been his knee.
His knee?
Oh yeah, it might have been his knee actually.
And
Yeah,
you
it's
know,
probably-
animators, they're.
No way.
I feel like there's things like that, but I know. I feel we overlook that kind of stuff.
I
Wait,
actually heard the reason they do that kind of stuff is because like they want it to be enjoyable for the parents as well.
yeah, true. Because you always just bring a child. Like, but a kid doesn't have money for a movie. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
It
like
is-
I don't know, I just think of like SpongeBob and how many like
oh,
dirty
SpongeBob
not
has
dirty
so
things it
much
has.
money,
It's
yeah.
just so funny. to
SpongeBob
look up.
is timeless, eh? Like,
Yeah, bro, you can still
Mhm.
watch it now, and it's
Yeah.
lit, dude. It's actually so
Yeah.
good.
I watched some clips of it and I still laugh. Like, it's
Yeah.
so
I
good.
feel like everyone who watched
Legendary,
as
bro.
a kid has a sense of humor because of it.
I agree. I think.
And
I
like
think they
you'll
do.
just connect with someone in a like sense of humor way because they watched it.
They got good taste, bro. They got
It's
good
so
taste.
dumb.
When you grow up and you realize you were Squidward all along.
Oh no.
That's a sad feeling, dude. The clarinet boy. Dude, okay. I have a question. Like, what was like? Did you guys have any feeling of like actually like crushing like your childhood like ideas, like learning that Santa isn't real, like stuff like that.
Oh, I know Santa wasn't real, so
From the very beginning.
I mean, like, my childhood was broken, like, at the start.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh.
Ugh.
Oh.
That's a podcast for another day, I guess.
That's
Another
yeah.
day.
We'll get some money for our therapy session as well. Joking.
Dr. K?
That's our other
Dr. K.
series, Blanket Talks. It's our
Mm.
therapy sessions, right?
Therapy
Therapy
session where we talk about our feelings, and it's like
Our tragic
Yeah.
backgrounds.
tragic backgrounds.
We need to
See.
book our appointment with
Our
Yep.
hurts. Oh, Dr. K, my boy. But you guys
You
have
know,
any-
you know what's like
What?
one of the things that like people can relate to, especially when you're Filipino and you're abroad, right?
Yeah.
Is eating Jollibee. My gosh, every time someone says Jollibee, everyone, like every Filipino just goes Jollibee, Jollibee, Jollibee.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Unpopular opinion. I like Chowking way better.
Frick, Jollibee's
Really?
the best, man.
I
Chowking
actually
is-
really
fair
like
enough.
Chowking. Like that's the
you
thing
can't
I
go wrong.
crave when I go back.
Dude, when I
I
went
feel like Chowking and like the chicken laureate or like and like you get the like prawn crackers and stuff. Oh,
Yeah.
it's
oh, prawn
so
crackers,
good.
yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, it takes me back.
Yeah.
Holla, holla, bro.
But I mean, I definitely love like a good Jollibee and
Yeah,
like
man.
the burger steak and like everything else as well. Like the chicken, obviously, like you
Yeah.
smell it and you're like, damn, that's like
The
nostalgic.
gravy, man. The gravy
gra-
is
oh,
the
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 gravy.
gravy.
Oh,
Right.
shit. With the
Yeah.
beef
the
steak.
gravy is the best.
Yeah, I
man.
love the beef steak. It's so good.
Damn, yeah.
Man,
Yeah,
just
honestly,
thinking
I-
about it right now
Makes me hungry, dude.
it makes me so hungry.
Legit, I
I
was like
should have
thinking.
brought food with me.
I legit was thinking about food. I feel like, dude, what should I eat?
I think we need Uber Eats as a sponsor.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Surely.
Uber Eats. Who's the founder of Uber?
Okay, here's another unpopular opinion.
Okay, go.
KFC is better than Jollibee in terms of chicken.
You.
Okay, yeah, chicken, yeah.
I
think
mean,
so.
with
It's
Wicked
been
Wings.
so
Wicked
long
Wings.
since I've had Jollibee that I don't know what it's like. I can't compare.
The only thing I liked in Jollibee was that sauce and the I don't know what sauce. It was like orange yellow sauce or something.
Oh, the
Full
palapa.
pie, man, from Jollibee. Tuna pie. There's a tuna pie as well.
Tuna
Oh,
pie.
that sounds kind of weird.
Yeah, tuna pie.
Hmm.
Yeah, I agree with you, Flim. Linden chicken all the way.
Linden chicken. Ah.
Chicken. True.
I think
Especially
we
when
need some
Alex-
moderators in the chat.
Moderators, man.
Oi.
Do you guys
Um,
like the Filipino spaghetti style?
Filipinos like
Like-
I like it. I personally I like.
I do like the
Filipino.
sweet. I like the sweet.
Yeah,
taste.
they're so good.
Because I remember loving it as a kid, right?
Mm.
And after spending like how many years, like over 10 years here in New Zealand, I think I just got used to the like savory style. And so like when I went back to Philippines, like in 2018, right? Like I was so excited for the Filipino spaghetti that Jollibee has, and I'm just like, it was kind of like anticlimactic, man. Like,
Really?
yeah, I don't know. I think I was expecting more because I remember loving it so much as a kid, but then
Oh, dude. Okay, like do you guys like have those things where like you look back and imagine how good it was, and you go back to it and it's not the same.
yeah,
I understand where you're coming from because like that happens to me to a lot of things. Like
Man.
all.
I think that happens to me when I'm like sleeping, you know. Like before it was so good, but like right now it's just an escape from your responsibilities and
Oh my god. Dude, okay. Wait. I had this thing. So when I was growing up, right? I was like I like my parents couldn't get a babysitter or like stuff like at our house, so we went to someone else's house for like babysitting and stuff like that. So and it was really close. And this person will always like make us sleep early, like make us sleep like any like I don't know, just sleep super early. And it was so annoying. And then now looking back now, I'm like, wow, I wish I could sleep.
yeah.
Cause oh my god,
It's kind of like that feeling, like when you're a kid, you want to grow up.
yes,
that you just wanna be an adult.
You do
But then
want to
now
grow
that
up.
like we're relatively, kind of adults.
Yeah, it's
we
like
want to
it's
go
different.
back to simpler times.
yeah,
Dude,
And
it's
it's-
simpler times
it's
when
really
everything
bad.
was so
Especially when you become a wage slave, and suddenly all you have is a Saturday and Sunday, which goes so fast.
Repeatedly.
that's- Partially why I just want, like, I like being a university student. Like, I don't think honestly, I'm not looking forward to like entering.
I
the
know.
workforce.
I kind of have the same feeling.
Yeah.
I do.
Log into your
I like
IRD
my
and
free.
say that again.
What was that? Sorry.
Check your student loan and then say that again.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
hello, my darkness, my old friend.
Going back to the
No.
topic you said before, Dominic, about like childhoods being ruined.
Yeah.
I feel like I don't have anything like that. Like,
What? How can
yeah,
you
I don't know. Like, I feel like I have some of the other topic you mentioned where like there's something so good back then, and then when you do it and it's not as good. Like, there's definitely games where I look back on it and it was like so good when I played it, but then when I play it now, it's like, damn, this was trash. Like, why did I love this game so much? But like in terms of actual things, like I don't think there was anything. Like, I genuinely think that my childhood was just like solid. And I think it's mainly because my childhood was very rooted in friends rather than things. Like when I played
Interesting.
games, it was always like with friends.
Yeah,
You know?
there was this. I remember one like memorable moment with you was that when I borrowed the game something Cerebus. What was it called?
Oh,
Dirge of Cerberus. Dirge of
yeah, yeah,
Cerberus.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
The Final Fantasy. Oh man,
Yeah.
that was a
That was
memory.
that was actually so good. Like, see, like I feel like that's the kind of game where it'd be like we'd play it right now and we might dislike it, but I feel
Yeah.
like we would like it.
I think we
actually.
would like it because
I think it was a good game. I think
it
that
was
game.
solid. Yeah, I was thinking solid game. Oh my god, like that throws me back, dude. Jeez.
Get it. We should actually get it and play it. Maybe on our third channel where we stream games. Who knows?
Oh, that'd be
How
lit.
many channels do we have right now?
Oh, we got Blanket for therapy. We have
Uh-huh.
Late Night Escape for podcast. I don't know what the other gaming was gonna be, but it can be anything.
We could have done that over the quarantine, Over
Oh,
quarantine, man.
Corona.
I had work during quarantine, so
I was at your house when I was at quarantine,
Oh yeah, you're stuck. You're stuck at Eric's house, huh?
good time though.
Good times,
Good time,
man.
yeah.
Letting Alan watch me.
Yeah. I was like kind of learning, but at the same time, I don't know what you were doing.
I should have had my Switch then.
Yeah.
Quarantine, yeah.
That would have been good because then you could have played Smash. We could have smashed.
Yeah, we could have smashed.
Ooh,
I gotta be
okay.
so good with Smash right now.
Is there like a PG rating here in this podcast? or-
What?
You can
Super
talk about-
Smash?
you can do whatever. You can do whatevs.
Lay it on us. Lay it on us.
You can say
Do it.
anything.
Say
Oh,
it.
no.
Say it. Say it. You know you
No,
want to say it.
No, I don't have any anything.
Questions. You just thought
Okay.
it was.
Did you guys have ever had a childhood crush?
Of
Yes.
course, bro.
Who hasn't?
Who hasn't, that dude?
I had a childhood like what do you call it? Like a triangle, like a what's the word for it? A love triangle.
Love
triangle.
triangle.
Ooh.
Oh my
childhood
gosh, Eric.
Love triangle,
Yep.
dude.
It was actually crack up.
Damn! Wow, harem king right here, bro. What the
Eh,
heck?
King.
Or was
So
it with
ladies,
Is it a guy and a girl, or is it? Two
So
girls,
it
one
was-
guy?
It was two. It was there's technically two girls and two guys, but it was so. What happened was it was me and I had my friend. We'll call him, Loyal,
Okay.
and there's two girls. So one was Annie. That's another random name I just thought of, and girl
an
number
actual person.
and girl number two, because I can't think of any
Girl
names.
number
So
Say the real one.
no,
That's
'cause
not like we know them. It's not like they're gonna watch this.
nah,
Unless.
one day, man.
Yes.
This will go
Unless-
really popular, and then they will find us, and they'll be like, "Damn, Eric was talking about me." Anyway, so me and Loyal were like real close. He wasn't my best friend, but he was up there in terms of like
Oh.
best friends,
Mhm.
like in terms of the people I just hung out with and stuff. And he liked this girl, but that girl was also like probably my childhood best friend that was a girl. Like how I don't know if you guys have it,
I
but
wish I
everyone
had
has
one.
like
Nah, I
that
do have one.
childhood like like in those animes or whatever where there's like the childhood best friend that's a girl and
Yeah.
you like
Yeah,
like,
we
obviously
don't.
you're
I
gonna
don't do
marry-
that, man. I don't
Oh.
have a. Good...
I went through that. I went through the same thing as
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. Well, she was like that to me. So, but like I knew my friend liked her, so I like obviously as a 7-year-old or 8-year-old or whatever I was like, nah, I can't dogs on the boys, like
Oh.
I had-
You're for the boys when you were a child.
I was like bro code,
Wow,
inherently
so
in my
early.
soul
No
as a
snake.
guy. No one ever teaches you that, but you just feel it anyways. So I was like, yeah, like this guy likes her, but I didn't know at the time. But she actually liked me,
Damn.
and
Damn.
her cousin, which is girl
Damn.
number 2, told
Oh.
me that she liked me, and so I told her I liked her back because I didn't know what else to say.
Ah.
So it's a square, I guess. It's kind of like a triangle. Yep.
That
And then
hurts,
I
man.
remember because that was real memorable for me because it was around the month where I was planning to go. We were planning to go to New Zealand.
Oh.
There's no consequence right there.
Mhm.
So like I remember specifically, we were at this party where like they were playing music, and we could like it was like kind of like a hall, like St. Francis type hall,
Okay,
and like
yeah,
there's
yeah.
chairs and stuff, and
Where,
they're just
where's St. Francis? I wonder
Oh,
where.
many
Ah,
Francis's in New Zealand.
yeah, yeah.
Anyway, yeah, so it was like
Cute.
quite a big but not too big hall. There's
Mhm.
chairs,
Yeah, yeah.
and
yeah.
like my family and her family were real close, like
Mhm.
Oh,
like best
yeah,
buds
that's
close.
nice,
And that's probably the reason why we were like also real close,
yeah, yeah.
because
yeah.
our families were real close.
Family
And like
friend.
you know
it's
how
really
it is,
family friends.
how
yeah.
like when you have family friends, you get like shipped. Like
you
the
do get
kids-
shipped.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember. I
Yeah.
remember.
Yep, it was
get that
exactly
too.
like that. I
Hate it.
remember 'cause it was that like the week before we were going to New Zealand or whatever it was.
Mhm.
They were like playing music at the party, and it was like kind of like slow dancing music. And then like
Ooh.
her parents or sister was like, "Oh, you should ask Eric to dance."
Oh my
And I was
God.
like laughing, like, "Ha ha ha! She's not gonna do that." And then she actually went up to me and asked me to. And I was like, you know what? Like all this stuff is blown over. So like, yeah, we danced. That was pretty like memorable
so
for me.
sad.
But I think like looking back, like obviously you're like 7 years old or 8 years old.
Yeah.
How we didn't really know each other at all. We were kind of like, you know, when you're just kids and you don't
Yeah.
really know each
Yeah.
other. Because like later on for me, I guess this is the thing that's like not ruined, but like your perceptions change. Because after years have passed, like I came back to Philippines
Mhm.
and I met her again, and like I had this like you know like this image of her as
Feeling?
this like child who like was like real cute and like you know like wholesome girl and stuff,
Mhm.
and like not saying she isn't, but like she's just grown up so like so much that like she's no longer the like you know
The
she's like
person, yeah.
headstrong and
Yeah.
like independent and like not that it's a bad
It's
thing,
not-
it's just
is
real
that not
different from when
attractive?
she was like a little girl, you know what
Yeah,
I
I
mean?
know what you mean. I
And
do
it's
understand
like-
what you mean.
And like I must have been so different to her as well, like
Sure. Sure.
yeah, and so it's just crazy to me how like damn like I didn't really know you at all, and here we are thinking that like oh you know we're gonna have like a life together or whatever.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
holy shit!
Yeah, I,
it's like
kind of feel what you mean, because like the, you know, like a lot of like friends that like you thought like they're just gonna stay together,
Yeah,
but like at the end, like, you know, it's like not actually kind of thing.
like there's just so much you don't know of each other, and the time's just been so long
Mhm.
that
Yeah,
like even though
yeah.
we were like best friends and that we were almost inseparable, like I just remember all the times we just like hang out and do all this stuff.
Mhm.
And like now it's just like it's just I couldn't even like say hi to her, start like small talk because it's just too awkward. Like we know
Wow.
each other and we were like we had this image of each other, but now we have no idea who we are and all that. And it's
Completely
just like
different.
yeah.
Times
it's
change,
just-
man.
That's like what, like all the start of a fanfic right there.
Yeah.
That's
But-
honestly.
yeah,
What
but
were you
like
saying?
to reiterate what I said, like when I said like life together, I meant like as like friends, not like as like dating. Like
Okay,
I
I was
mean,
like,
you know, like,
ooh, okay.
Because like if I stayed in New Zealand, I genuinely think we would have been like you know like best friends or something, or like just stayed real close. Like
Yeah, I understand that. Yeah.
like a childhood best friend.
Childhood
You
best friend.
yeah.
Mhm.
And it's just like I went to New Zealand, and just things.
It's
just
the what
complete-
if moments. Eh? It's like
The
I
what
love it. I like
if
thinking the
No,
what if.
moments,
that was what
man.
if. Yeah,
Yeah.
I have a what
Yeah.
if.
That's a lot of what ifs, man.
Dude, yeah. There's
Yeah.
there's so much I don't know, like looking back, this is why I'm always scared of change. Change to me is scary because like it means losing something, but it's usually to improve, but you'll always be losing onto something like you'd always remember. Like something sad, like I don't know, like cuz time forces changes, and I don't know, it makes things different. It's just
Mm.
different.
There's like something I've been like thinking about a lot for a while now.
What is
So
it?
you know, like your memories, right?
Yeah.
Like sometimes your brain doesn't remember things.
As it used to, or
Not like, so like your brain erases memories, kinda.
that's
Like they just like it's like they're stored like at the back of your head,
Hmm.
because like like your brain's making more space for new memories to be
True.
thing.
True.
That's why, you know, forgetting something is
That's
Not-
not actually how it works. We don't delete
we have the psychologist.
memory.
Yes, I'm sorry about it, but
Wait,
that's
actually,
just what I think.
can you
Good.
have
Sorry,
an
continue.
explanation?
Sorry? No, let Alan continue.
No,
Okay.
that's just what I think about it. Like, you
Uh,
know,
What is it? What's the
No,
real
it's-
answer?
Yeah,
No, it's
how,
just
how
we don't-
does it work?
So, from what Alan said, what I'm hearing is that like some memories are kind of like
no, like just
Select-
like less important memories. Like your brain just doesn't remember because it's giving more space for more important memories.
so it's not necessarily because your brain is trying to make more space for other memories. It's more like that memory is just having you're having trouble retrieving that memory from your
Yeah,
long
it's
term
because
into your
memories are
short term
muscles. Yeah,
memory.
because it's because
Is-
memories
yeah.
are muscles, and if you use that muscle more often, you can remember it easier.
Yeah. So the more you recall a certain memory, the stronger the stronger it is consolidated. So the more likelier it is to be
So
ingrained into your long term memory. And then
basically, training up your brain to remember stuff.
yeah.
Yeah,
So if you
pretty
really
much.
want to remember something and like transfer it into your long term memory, then just keep practicing it.
Like
So-
try to remember the girl that I met one time.
Oh,
I'm sure you will never forget that, Alan. But
Yeah.
so what I'm hearing is that forgetting is actually just something that never went to the long term. Like you have your short term memory, and because you didn't think about it enough, it just never got consolidated enough in the long term memory. Is that right? That's what forgetting is in like a nutshell, or
It's a bit more complicated than that, but it's yeah. I think you kind of get the gist of it. Like
yeah,
it's not
like,
it's just not it's not because your brain is trying to make more space for other memories, because in all honesty your brain is able to like store a crap ton of information without having
it
to
can,
delete
it can.
other source of
It's
information.
just, it's
Like,
just,
if you had say some technology that was like real, what's the word, real sensitive to like brain waves, and like it could just like track all the neural networks and stuff in your brain,
yeah,
Yeah.
do you think it's
synapses.
possible for it to just like track like memories you don't even remember? Because like
Whoa.
Kind of like repressed memories.
yeah, like super
Yeah.
repressed memories, like that kind of stuff.
Hmm.
Yeah.
That'll be interesting. I feel like
That's a bit beyond me.
that's
but
that'll be crazy because if that was possible, it would be treating Alzheimer's pretty much. People who have Alzheimer's, and that's something
What
I'm
about
not
like
too
people
sure.
who has trauma, right?
PTSD and stuff like that.
Yeah, like let's say like you're trying to like just repress, like your brain represses a memory because of the trauma you've experienced through because of it, you know.
Hmm.
Yeah, I think like PTSD stuff. There's memory is triggered by so many things. It just it's triggered by our like smell, sight, touch, and everything. That it's hard to forget something. So PTSD or like there's trauma stuff can be triggered easily. I think the hardest
Mm.
thing is forgetting a memory. That's probably the hardest thing.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's like
Do you guys think you have any repressed memories? Like not like super repressed, not like traumatic level, unless you do have it. But like, because I feel like for me, I feel like I've gone through not super traumatic, but just stuff I don't want to remember. That I feel like I've repressed it, and then I'll meet the person involved or whatever, and suddenly all these memories start flooding back. If that makes sense.
Mm,
Like, for example,
I think I do have one, but like, yeah,
yeah,
You-
like
you wouldn't really
for-
know if you did. Like it's,
yeah.
yeah.
You tried
for me,
purpose
it's
repressing
always-
it.
It's always like to do with like a breakup or like someone that I like.
Mhm,
If
mhm.
that makes sense. Like,
yeah.
say I have a thing with this girl or whatever, and then like when I find out someone did something bad or I did something bad, it's like I don't want to think about it. Like, because
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
want to see myself in a bad way. I don't want to see them in a bad way. So I almost kind of repress that memory, and then
'Cause it
when I
hurts.
see them on all that, it's like damn, like all the stuff
Mm,
I like
was-
forgot that I knew was still in there somewhere. It's like
Sad,
real,
bro.
yeah. It's
Aw.
kind of weird,
yeah.
I
like
understand that.
especially when it was such a big memory for them. But it's like for me, like I just didn't want to think about it. Like it
Damn.
makes me wonder what I actually don't remember.
I feel like yeah. I don't know, man. That's a interesting case. I think we there there are things that people do repress but don't know
Yeah.
that they do. Um,
I mean
or
that's like
or
basically
ignore.
what repressed is, like,
Yeah.
like you like say, like, like you say to the person that's repressed, you're just repressing him, but like for the
Mhm,
person, he's like not actually, like, he feels like he's not actually repressing it because like he
mhm.
he feels like it didn't really happen. Same as
Yeah,
like
yeah.
police.
It's just ignoring it. It's like that
Yeah,
didn't
he just
happen.
ignored it.
That never
But do
happened.
you ever get that, like those instances where the harder you try to not think about something, the more you unintentionally end
Oh
up kind of
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
thinking
Yeah, I
about
don't
it.
know
So
what
the
that
harder it
happens,
is.
Yeah,
but it does. It's just
it's like when I think about like Nikki's very cool voice, I'm like, I can't stop
Oh,
thinking
wait,
about
how
it.
did you manage to link it to that?
No, I'm just
Okay.
Yeah,
kidding.
we'll
It's
show some stuff on our fourth channel, our Twitch sings.
Twitch things. I see how it
Twitch
is.
things, Twitch things, man.
It's kind of
Yeah.
like that saying, oh, not saying, but like concept of white elephant. So like
Mhm.
the more you like, let's say, don't think of a white elephant. You know, if I tell you not to think of it, you're gonna think of it,
Then
right?
yeah, you're gonna think about it, right?
You know,
And now you planted that
Yeah,
like thought
Yeah.
in my mind right now.
I look at that white elephant, bro, in my mind, bro.
I definitely get that with intrusive thoughts. Like things like when I'm like sitting at like a balcony and I'm just like the like
You won't
thought of
jump.
jumping off the
You won't
balcony
jump.
is just
ah,
present,
yeah,
and I'm
Yeah.
like, I don't want to think about it, but the more I not think about it, the more I want to actually just jump
Mm.
off and see what it's like.
I
I
think
have one
it's
of those things, and Eric knows.
You won't
I
die.
think I think a lot of people know.
A lot of people
Really
know.
you, but we don't talk about that here.
Okay.
what's
Okay.
like, there's like one of the things, like when you're alone and you don't want to think about like scary thoughts. The more you don't want to think about it, the
Yeah.
more you like vividly like have it. Like,
Yeah.
your brain just like, oh, you're not doing this, but I want to do this.
Mhm.
It's like the classic when you're walking home alone, and the moment you think, "Is there someone behind me?" and you look behind and no one's there, you're like, you can't stop wanting
Yeah,
to
yeah,
look behind you just in
yeah.
case.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay. Okay. Last thing, I wanna ask, what brings you the most nostalgia?
What brings me the most
The
nostalgia, man?
What brings you the most nostalgia?
I think it's um especially one of the things that gives me nostalgia is the place where I grew up with on
Oh, yeah.
in the
That makes more
Philippines.
sense. That makes sense.
Like, because like there's like a lot of memories
Like
in
knowing
like
the
one place.
location.
Yeah,
I feel that.
location
I feel
wise.
that. I
And
feel that.
smell. Smell is one of the things that,
Really?
like, yeah.
Smells
Um
Philippines seems so odd.
have you ever smelled like luggage coming from the airplane?
Oh yeah, I know
What?
exactly
No,
what
I
you
have
mean.
Yeah.
no idea.
I know
No, I don't
exactly
know
what
idea.
You know it, right?
Yeah,
It's
I
like,
know exactly.
that gives me nostalgia.
What?
Yeah.
Like, it just makes me remember like my parents coming home.
Oh wow. That's insane. Cause I do feel that way with the place I grew up. Like walking back home, and cause I used to walk home with other people, and then I sometimes would go to other people's house and be around
Mm,
the area of where I studied, or yeah, where I studied, and I would know the place inside and out, and it's like knowing, like going around that area just gives me so much nostalgia, like just remembering the places I did.
Yeah.
oh.
'Cause I remember trick or treating.
How about you,
Oh
Nikki?
my god.
For me, I think it's kind of just when I talk to a friend who I was once really
Oh, that
close
sounds
with,
so sad.
but I'm like kind of, we've kind of like gone our separate ways.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I lost
and
that.
I think this is especially true when I kind of like look back at our old chat logs.
Oh
Mm,
yeah, you're
And it
looking back
like
all the
I
chat
just
logs.
remember like, oh, I can't believe how like foolish we were,
Dude, that
how
was cringe
how
as,
we
bro.
talked like
Holy.
this, and just yeah. But it's like I look back at it, um, fondly, you know, like
Dude,
it's really nice, like
I
that
was so
feeling.
cringy. I was like,
It's like me and Dominic.
wait, what?
What?
Whenever we're in town, I just point towards that
Oh
one.
my god,
Oh,
Alan,
Taranaki?
stop! You don't talk about Taranaki here.
Wait, what about
Maybe
Eric?
later, maybe later.
About
Eric, what do you have?
Honestly, okay, Dominic, you're gonna know exactly what I mean. But I think one of the most like cherished memory and nostalgic memories is just sitting at the top of the hill next to your house, Dominic.
Holy damn, yeah,
And then
they
just
take me back.
back then when you'd always say house life, we just talk
House
about
life.
like what we wanted to be, like how
Yeah.
when we grow up we're gonna
That
do all
was
this
so
stuff.
weird. Yeah,
And that was like around end of like primary or
yeah,
something.
that
It
was
like
insane.
is insane how like I think that's probably like my earliest memory of a proper DNM, I'd say.
Yeah, yeah,
And
I
it's
can
just
feel you.
yeah.
I can feel you.
And it's just
How
crazy.
old were you guys when you did that?
We
It
were
was
like,
like
I was year 6, no, you're
Oh my god.
I think
It's
I
like
think
10-year-olds.
I think we just finished. Yeah, I think I just finished year 6 and you were year 5.
yeah, year 5, year
Mm.
5, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So,
So
we were
that's
both
like
10 though. We were
like
both 10.
2009 or 2010 or something.
Yeah, we were 10 years old. We were
Damn.
talking about like how's life, and we were like, talking about the future.
Yeah.
Like, oh man, I
That
remember
was, like-
we won't play video games.
Yeah, like we
Mhm.
like vowed like we're not gonna play video games.
Video
We're gonna be
games.
productive. We're gonna like like do
Yeah.
all this stuff.
Yeah.
And look at
Job.
now.
You
You're
know,
look at us now. We're starting a podcast.
Dude, that story of you and Dom gives me Eren and Armin vibes.
Oh,
Or,
true.
like, when they're
Oh.
talking about going to see the ocean.
Oh yeah. Damn,
Childish,
that was I
like,
remember that. That was insane.
yeah.
I just felt like that was so mature of us to do.
Yeah, like it made no sense given all the other dumb crap we've done.
Yes.
like
yes.
like like Man versus Wild and
Oh my god, yeah. Oh my god.
Like-
We don't talk about that. Maybe in another podcast.
and then
Another
with
podcast.
that- with
maybe
the
we
person.
might invite that person. Yeah.
we might invite that
Oh
person.
yeah, we need a guest. Right?
We'll invite a guest next time.
Yeah, we'll invite a guest.
But yeah. Oh man, that takes me back. Dude.
Crazy.
Should we just wrap it up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's us.
What? Yeah, sure.
We've got 9 viewers in the chat.
Yeah, hi 9 viewers. I'm
Or-
thinking
or-
like 4 of us is us.
Yeah.
True.
So really
So-
5, but
Yeah, 5.
9's
like-
quite a pretty
And
decent.
I'm willing to bet at least 2 out of those 5 are like
Yeah.
they're not even watching. They just have it on idle.
Oh, it went down to 8. One of them.
Bye bye.
I was
If
like
you're
watching.
here,
I was
say
watching
hi.
it. I was
Let us
watching the
know.
viewer count. It never went down below 6.
Oh, that's good.
So-
So
Interesting.
there's like at least 2 people who's always listening to us.
That's interesting. That's cool.
We'll
Yeah.
give you free subs when we get affiliated, guys.
I have 2
Wow.
computers, so
Okay. Cute.
I'm kidding.
I have my phone here as well, you know.
Now that was a good conversation. So I guess the question really is, if we are gonna do this, how consistent are we? So that our viewers can expect some good quality content,
True.
Probably once a
Public
month. Once a
affiliate.
month.
Once a
Once a
month.
month.
Once a month?
Once a month. What the
Once
heck?
every 2 weeks.
Once every 2 weeks.
Once every
Every
week.
2 weeks.
Yeah.
Okay, 2 weeks. I'm all good with that.
Yeah, yeah.
Once every
yeah.
2
Because
weeks.
honestly, like, despite the fact that there's not a lot of people listening, this actually made me feel better. Almost like a therapy session.
I
Therapy
understand. Yeah, I feel you.
session. And
Oh,
that's how we segue towards our next channel, which is Blanket Time.
Blanket time. Let's go. Woo,
Should
blanket
we call
time.
it blanket time with the boys? And then there, if we have a girl on, we just give them a guy name.
Blanket. Wait, why blanket time?
I have
Because
no
it's
idea. It's a cool name, bro.
Because everyone
You
has a
have-
blanket.
you
You
have-
know, everyone has a
okay.
blanket.
you sleep
I-
without a blanket?
When are we ever going to do an in-person kind of?
Yeah, I reckon we can do that one time, one day.
When we get enough funds to have
When
equipment.
we can. When we have
we need
better.
like a mic that can pick up all like angles.
True.
Uh,
The mic
mean-
mic is probably the most important thing.
Yeah, I've been wanting to buy a really good mic anyway, so
Um,
Hmm,
there
Yeah.
you go.
that's
Maybe
pretty
that's
much that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching, guys. That's me, Domi, and there's Eric, Alan, and Nikki. I don't know where we're gonna do this next. Probably next 2 weeks.
2 weeks. 2 weeks,
Next two
I
weeks.
believe.
But yeah, nice seeing you guys. That's us from the Late Night Escape, and good night.